Welcome to One Brothas Mind, and I am KD Smooth. Today we will question and challenge popular information and views from a B1 perspective, while we expose the real facts you need. We do this to strengthen your logical, critical, and discerning thinking skills. Because in today's world, hard choices are mandatory and they come with consequences. So you need all the information. And at One Brothas Mind, we do this from a B1 Yeshua the Christ followers perspective. Now, if you're not ready, you better get ready with Katie Smooth at One Brothas Mind. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Katie Smooth back with you with another broadcast. Coming at you with a broadcast today regarding the question of whether or not African Americans should relocate to Africa or not. There's a big push right now, and a lot of African Americans, so-called African Americans, are either relocating or seriously considering relocating in the coming years. And we're going to chop it up on this topic, try to bring some clarity, try to find some answers to this question, especially, family, for those who are Yeshua the Christ followers, scripture followers. There's a lot of things to consider, and we're going to chop it up here with you on this topic. So, let's go. Again, should African Americans relocate to Africa or not? What do y'all think? The primary motivation for doing so is to escape or attempt to escape the beast system that is written in scripture, especially in the book of Revelations. To get out from under the beast system or the beast control, if you will, right? So, is it time to relocate to Africa, families? We have a few questions here at One Brothas Mind. And to begin, on your screen, you see a map displaying European control. This map, gotta give a shout out to Jan Niederveen Patrice from the book White on Black: Images of African and Blacks in Western Popular Culture from 1992. This is page 76. Okay. In this book, it states that in the 1800s, Europeans or Europe controlled 35% of the Earth's surface, the Earth's land around the world. This is globally. But by the time 1914 came around, you had the whole imperialism push from Europe. Europe's control of the global land extended to over 84.4% of the Earth's surface. Yeah, y'all heard it right. Almost 85%. And that's what this map represents. As you can see in purple or light purple, that's the area of Europe itself. And then you got the areas that have been colonized or controlled by Europe in green, and then in the lighter green, which is harder to make out, but it really doesn't matter. Areas that are under partial European control or influence. And then lastly, the areas in yellow that are under the sphere of European influence. And then lastly, the orange lands, which is very few, that have never been colonized by Europe. Let this sink in, family. I mean, this is real close to the same map or same view of the globe today. Okay? Yes, there's a couple of few more countries that have declared sovereignty, their own sovereignty, like, for example, in Africa. A few more countries have declared their sovereignty from Europe or European control. But what does that mean exactly? We're gonna dig into this. I got some questions. We have questions. All right. And what you see on your screen, family, is as we express here at One Brothas Mind, this is in general what Scripture is referring to when it says who can war against the beast. In other words, the beast is everywhere. The beast controls the globe. Okay? So, first question. Looking at this picture and or this map, and like I said, there's a few countries since this map was put out that have declared their own sovereignty, but we're going to talk about that and what that really means. But where can African Americans, where can you live, so-called African Americans, where can you live on the globe without being under European control, directly or indirectly? Where can you live? Again, most people that I've talked to about this question, their motivation primarily, at least, is to try to find a safer location on the earth to live and not be subject to white supremacy or European control. And every time I say European control, I'm saying, whether I say it or not, I'm saying white supremacy. Global white supremacy. Okay? So, for the handful of additional countries that have declared their sovereignty from European control, in example, several of them in Africa, what does that sovereignty mean? Really, let's ask the question. Think about it. What does it mean? Okay, we're sovereign. Okay, good. Woohoo! Can that country defend itself against an attack by European countries, by, say, like the U.S. or NATO or something? Can any of those so-called sovereign African countries defend themselves? No. Okay, that's you say that's a little bit far, KD Smooth. Okay, well, what about, can any of these sovereign countries, especially some in Africa, can they survive or defend themselves even if European control, the beast system, white supremacist global system launches sanctions against one of these so-called sovereign countries, or any country in Africa for that matter? Can they defend themselves against those sanctions? And for those that don't know, sanctions could be pretty much anything, but primarily resources. So if the US or NATO, the white supremacist global network, the beast, whatever you want to call it, if they launch sanctions against a country, let's say a sovereign country in Africa where you decided to relocate to. And now, first question is, are the resources that are being sanctioned, are they going to soon get low? The answer is yes. Because this European beast system, this global white supremacy, it controls global trade for the most part. It controls the movement of resources into most countries and out of most countries. So just putting sanctions on most countries in the world is going to choke that country out and its citizens. Is going to put heavy, major strain on them. You know, in many cases, unbearable living conditions and strain. Okay? So you went through all the trouble to relocate to some part or some country in Africa, and now just snap your finger. Sanctions are launched on that country. Now you there. Certain resources are very thin or running out or getting low. What do you think is going to happen? Well, I mean, pretty much the same thing that will happen anywhere, but let's focus in Africa. What's the history of Africa when resources are low within Africa? What's the history? The countries, the tribes, the people, whatever it is, they began to attack, kill, and murder each other. Steal, because they're fighting for and over resources that are scarce. Okay? And be clear, that will happen anywhere. It has nothing to do with the race of people or color of skin. You put a group of people, you can put 5 people. You can put 5 hungry people. Let's say 5 white supremacist Europeans, hungry people, in a room with 2 slices of pizza, and tell them they ain't gonna get, they have no idea when they're gonna get some more food. And 9 times out of 10, they're gonna fight over that pizza. They're gonna go to war. It just how it works. So again, it has nothing to do with the racist idea that, oh, only black people fight over resources. No. Poor people, impoverished people fight over resources. Okay? Be clear. So let's say you relocated last month to Africa. Some country, you picked a sovereign country. Yeah. Like I'm gonna be over here. Me and my family, we're gonna be safe now. And then boom, for some reason the sanctions get dropped. The government of that country, the U.S. or NATO or just Europe in general, doesn't like the government in that country anymore. The government in that country is being defiant. Nah, we ain't doing what y'all say no more. Okay, so they launch sanctions against that country. So now the resources is getting short and thin or running out. Are you safe? Is you and your family safe with the countries or the tribes or just all the citizens and neighbors around you? Robbing, stealing, killing, mobbing over resources. Yeah, I'm not telling anybody any revelation. That's been the history in Africa for hundreds of years. Right? So how is that safer? Again, poverty, lack of resources will cause most groups of people, most so-called races of people, to start to fight over those resources for survival. Right? So, which is better? Which is safer? that's the question that we're asking here at One Brothas Mind. And remember, family, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. We try to bring you the information and facts you need. So share this video. Some things we need to think about, y'all. Seriously. Which is safer? Relocating to some part of Africa, and trying to settle in there and take advantage of the opportunities that are there that we don't have those same opportunities here in the U.S. or in other parts of Europe, or staying where we are and just dealing with the devils that we know. Which is safer? Which is better? In other words, which is better? Do we take a stand where we are and what we know the most and get our preps up, get prepared, and be ready to defend our families and ourselves where we are, like here in the U.S. or in parts of Europe or wherever we are, the Caribbean? Or do we specifically say, no, it's better somehow for us to relocate to Africa and get our preps up there, get prepared there to take a stand, to defend ourselves and our families? Which is it? I'm just asking the question, y'all. Because there's a whole lot of brothers and sisters out here in America. They swear up and down, it's time to go, y'all. We got to relocate. Yah is calling us to back home. They going on and on and on about it. So, okay. I get the theory. I get the concept. I know where it comes from, but I just have some questions. Okay. And specifically, most of it, this push is derived, not all, but most is derived from scripture. Scriptures like where I'm paraphrasing, it says, for us to come out of her, for his people to come out of her or come out of the beast system. Well, I guess the question's there. Is that scripture being written to be metaphorical or literal? Is which way should it be interpreted? If you interpret it metaphorically, then that seems to lean toward the other scripture when that states and calls for his people to live apart, metaphorically, from the world, to be set apart. That's what I want to get to be set apart, to live set apart, to live differently than everyone else, or in this case, everyone else within the beast system. But if it's metaphorical, that's just saying, okay, wherever you are, live and be set apart, be an example. Okay? Or is it to be interpreted literal? Come out of her, live set apart, literally relocate back to Africa, some part of Africa, to our homeland. Is that what scripture is saying? That's the safest place and best place for us? Let me know, family. What do y'all think? Again, is it safer and better to do that? Because the same things that you initially can think that we can escape from here, say, for example, in the U.S., we're escaping the racism and rights. Yeah, there may not be direct racism in Africa, if you will, but that doesn't mean that wherever you relocate to in Africa, that country can defend itself militarily from attack, nor can that country defend itself from the beast system or white supremacist system sanctions placed on it. And, actually get choked out, which then makes living internally within whatever country in Africa that's been slapped with sanctions. That's gonna make that very hard, and you're essentially within the same, or experiencing the same dangers and hardships that you would experience everywhere else, the U.S. or Europe or wherever. You're experiencing those hardships in Africa, where you've relocated to, and there's nothing that country or those people really can do about it. It's almost like overnight that the U.S. government wakes up and decides, we don't like the president and leadership government of country X, so they're not doing what we telling them to do. So okay, let's put sanctions on their country. Let's choke them out. They do that all over the world. That's the first thing they usually do. With the only exception of launching a coup and replacing the defiant government with a puppet government, or all of the above. Okay? So it seems to me here at One Brothas Mind that no matter where you go, if you really focus on what this map is communicating, that's on your screen, escaping European dominance and control, escaping the global white supremacy system, escaping the beast system is pretty much impossible. If it's not, y'all let me know where it is. Point it out. What country, what landmass, where can you go where you can escape and be safe? There may be an island here or there, an uncharted island somewhere, Gilligan's Island, or I don't know where Gilligan's Island is. That may be, a good spot. But other than that, where are you gonna go? Where you can say and be confident that you're safe from the beast system, the global white supremacist system. You can't say, someone say, what about China? Well, they're under European influence and control too, to a certain point. That's why it's partial. It's the color of partial. The beast can decide to launch sanctions against China and choke China out. Just like currently they're doing with Russia, or attempting to do with Russia. But China and Russia, they're pretty large countries with substantial militaries and resources. It's really hard to choke them out with just sanctions. They have other countries that they're in partnership with that they can get resources from when in doubt. Okay? So, but let's just say you say, we're gonna relocate to China. Well, there's many that believe China's government system and what's in place over there is even worse than what it is over here in the U.S. No rights, no control, and I have to say this, family. Y'all do know, in the U.S., we're pretty much the last citizens on Earth where it's so-called legal to bear arms. Most other countries, it ain't really legal to bear arms. So if you ain't got no arms, you can't defend yourself. That's how it is over in China and many other places around the world. You can't bear arms, be running around with open carry or concealed carry, whatever you want to call it. Right? So which is safer? Relocate back to Africa, some part of Africa, some country, or stay where we are? Even according to Scripture. I mean, Scripture goes even further, and it literally conveys the understanding that Yah, or God, Yah will gather us from all the four corners of the earth and return us to our promised land, our homeland, which is a part of Africa, northern, eastern Africa. Okay? That's Scripture. That's going to happen. There ain't no doubt there. I'm not questioning that. But the question I do have with that is that return, is that supposed to be happening before Yeshua goes to war with the beast, or Armageddon, you should say? Does that happen? Should we be returning before that starts? When that starts and during Yeshua's war with the beast? Or after? That's all over and after Yeshua, the Christ's return. When should we be returning? When is Yeshua calling us to return? If we return to Africa before Yeshua, the Christ's return, are we safe? Can we relax and say, yeah, we good now? We're doing what Scripture says, so Yah is going to protect us. Which is it, family? Again, look at this map. The European system control is global. Or you could say the system of white supremacy is global. Or you could say the beast system spoken of in Scripture, especially in the book of Revelations. It's global, which is why, again, it says, who can war with the beast other than Yah? Okay, fam? So, just wanted to drop this quick report on you. Here at One Brothas Mind, our recommendation is wherever you decide to take a stand, whether you're in the U.S., some part of Europe, some country in Africa, Caribbean, wherever it is, you need to get prepared, get your preps up, get your food preps and your gardening, growing your own food going, get your security preps, get your power tools, because again, as Professor Black Truth says, you'll never know when you have to put in some work. Get your water preps. Get your bug out preps, etc., etc., etc. Get prepared, y'all. Wherever you decide, just take a stand. Because at least according to this map, for the most part, there's nowhere else you can go other than where you are to believe and feel safe from the global white supremacists or the global beast system. That's nowhere. If it is, hey, drop a comment. Let us know. Let the rest of us know. Tell us where Gilligan's Island is. Let us know where it is. Because if you can tell me, I'm going. Me and my family going. That little island that's outside of the beast system of white supremacy's control and influence. Okay? So just wanted to drop this quick report on you guys. Ask some quick questions because there's a lot of family, pushing this idea of relocating to Africa currently. Come out, it's time to go now. And if, they got compelling arguments, can't lie. There's some good opportunities in parts of Africa. There's some extremely good opportunities, a lot of pluses, but there's plus and minuses to everything. Here at One Brothas Mind, we just don't want y'all to not do your research and relocate anywhere. And in this example, relocate to Africa thinking that, oh, now you're there and the relocation, we're safe now. Yah is going to protect us. We are safe because we are aware. We're following Scripture. We're where Scripture says for us to be. Again, the question is, did you relocate too soon, too early? Are you really safe? Do you have the full protection and safety of Yah keeping you and your family safe? Or, as the beast rears its evil, satanic head, are you and your family going to experience significant hardships and potential attacks where you are as well? So family, let me know in the comments. Let's chop it up. Again, if you know where that location is that's outside of European dominance and control on the globe. Yeah, and I've looked into building my own spaceship and going to the moon if we can relocate to the moon. Hey, you gotta look at all options, man. I love those the movies when they come out where they're talking about finding another inhabitable planet. Hey, let's go, man. But as you see on your map, there's really nowhere else to go. No safe place. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, to please like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get y'all to put your thinking caps on. Do some research. Let's figure it out. Put together your reasoning for one decision or the other. And post them in the comments. Let's chop it up on them. Let's see. Which one is safer? Which one is better to do? And should we do it now? Should we wait until it seems that Yeshua is speaking to us and really telling us what's the signals that Yeshua is going to leave to say, well, you need to go ahead and heed my call and return to Africa or to this part of Africa, this place, this land? Or is the time to do that after Yeshua's return and war with the beast and victory? Is that the time for us then to, in peace, be able to return and settle and live in Yeshua's kingdom with Yeshua's people as we are? Again, family, let's chop it up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Give me your solution. Give me your idea of which is better and why. Okay? Just wanted to drop this quick one on you. So, There you go. This concludes this broadcast of One Brothas Mind. We thank you for joining us. And as a part of the new Black media, B1 choices are mandatory. And being on code is required. But never fear, Yeshua the Christ is with you always. Shalom.